Okay, everyone, this is Thursday afternoon for me. It's nighttime, pretty much. I have a video, and it's about the Chinese government, really the CPC, the Communist Party of China. Xi Jinping has called for a national rejuvenation with tighter Communist Party control of business, education, culture, and religion. And there are three main factors in this. One of them is the ban on video games, which will now be from you not being able to play them during the week and only playing them on the end of the week for 3 hours, and that's it. Even though that screen time is a small amount, I mean, like, there's worse problems than there out there than just 3 hours of playing a video game a week. But let's be real with ourselves. We don't have to minimize this anymore. But when we go to China, there may be different reasons why they're doing all this and why they maybe think that it's right. Even though game developers have to pass through a government, have to pass through the government for approval, they now want to add nationalistic themes and ideals to the video games to save what they call the revolutionary culture, which is before video games and what they're doing for themselves. They are the government. Remember, this is a communist government. And it may work for some people, but it doesn't work for everyone, right? They also say male actors are being too feminine, which is taking away from the revolutionary culture as well that they want to save. So they'd like to put an end to that. And you may be asking why they want to put an end to that. And there may be different reasons for it. Maybe they don't like the entertainment industry, the way that it's bringing up and going. But we have to remember China is the creator of TikTok. And obviously a lot of people in China use it. And they love to show themselves off a little bit. And they created one of the most fantastic pieces of art for an app that I would say that works for everyone across all spectrums of the world, and it's fantastic. So the male actors are too feminine. Big whoop, whatever. You can look like whatever you want to. So also a Chinese actor has visited the Shrine of the War Dead, also known as the Kasukini Shrine, in Japan, which is a shrine that is located in Kyoto, Tokyo, a city which is in the heart of Tokyo. The shrine commemorates fallen warriors and brings solace to those who have died in wars involving the Japanese people, with over 2.4 million people and animals inside of that sanctuary itself for the deceased people. The shrine has a lot of controversy behind it, and that has to do with Class A war crimes, Class B, and Class C war crimes that have been committed by some Japanese people, many of which were put in there in the shrine without the consent of a living family member. And some of the crimes are really heinous, and the Japanese people don't want to be about that anymore. It's the same thing that happened in the War of Germany. They said sorry, they did their dues, they made some payouts and such, and it was a disgusting war overall, which never should have happened. And it was the use of fear tactics amongst its own people and blame of others so that they could gain control and have more habitat for their culture, their type of people, right? It was a communist regime essentially that was created with Hitler and everyone else. And I don't like saying that name. It's a horrible name. It should never be said, and I'm actually sorry for saying that, to be honest. I should never have said that. I promised myself when I made this video that I was not going to say that name. That person deserves no praise whatsoever. They're a disgusting person on the ass of the most disgusting person out there that never washes. So the shrine does commemorate fallen warriors and bring solace to some of them. Some people went to war and they never really wanted to, and they were forced to go. And the controversy also leads to people, and to show really big how big the controversy can get to, and how important it is not to go and visit the shrine for many people. The No emperor has actually visited the Yasukuni shrines since 1975, although the Emperor and Empress still continue to attend the National Memorial Service for the War of the Dead annually. The head priest, Juna Nakata of Hongenji Temple of the Shingon sect Dayago Ha, requested of the Pontiff Pope Paul the Fourth or Fifth. I don't know my Roman numerals. Sorry. To say a mass for the repose of the souls of all people in the Yasukuni, which would include the 1,618 men condemned as Class A, B, and C war criminals. Class A war criminals are crimes committed against peace. B and C are considered just general war crimes where they go out and they torture the prisoners and hurt some people in the meantime, which is just pretty much the same as anything else as it being bad. So committing a peace crime is quite there as well too. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has not visited the shrine since taking office in September last year. In October, he sent an offering to coincide with the shrine's autumn festival, prompting a statement of deep regret from the South Korean government, because many people in South Korea were majorly affected by some of the wars that these people in the shrine are in. Imagine trying to escape North Korea, and in doing so, you get attacked by someone who doesn't even know you. A huge movement in the Japanese reign happened in the Meiji, which was an era of the first half of the Empire of Japan, when the Japanese people moved from being an isolated feudal society at risk of colonization by Western powers. The new paradigm of a modern industrialized nation state and emergent great power influenced by Western scientific technologies, philosophical, political, legal, and aesthetic ideas. As a result of this, such wholesale adoption of radically different ideas, the changes to Japan were profound and affected its social structure, internal politics, economy, military, and foreign relations as well too. This was more than likely a major protagonist in the Japanese attacks on other countries. Furthermore, Japanese children growing up for many years after being influenced and forced in a war in their later years can be an impactful societal measure, and as a whole, and teach people what is wrong is right, and vice versa. People would stand up for themselves as well in the later years. Maybe they thought they were doing right, but it just seemed that they were stoking the fire. They were fighting fire with fire, literally, because we know that some of the Europeans weren't very nice people either, and I guess maybe people were afraid of it. And fighting, when you throw fire on fire, like, you throw gasoline on fire, what happens, right? You're just stoking it. So this leads us to the Meiji Restoration. The Meiji Restoration. After the fall of Edo, which were people were in favor of the Meiji Restoration who fall against the Meiji. The Meiji created the first reform. So after they fought against the Meiji created the first reform. Okay. The first reform was the promulgation of the Five Charter Oath in 1868, in general statement of the aims of the Meiji leaders to boost moral and win financial support for the new government. Right? Here we go. Another political lie that's coming in as we speak here. Its 5 provisions consisted of a deliberate assembly. It says deliberative assembly shall be widely established and all matters decided by public discussion. All classes high, low shall unite in vigorously carrying out the administration of the affairs of the state. The common people, no less than the civil military of officials, shall be allowed to pursue his own calling, that there be no discontent. So anyone being upset or anything and everything's okay, as long as people aren't upset. But we know that people are upset at this point. Evil customs of the past shall be broken off, and everything based upon the just laws and everything based upon the just laws of nature. Okay. Uh, upon the just laws of nature. Okay, yeah. Knowledge shall be sought throughout the world so as to strengthen the foundations of imperial rule. Okay. The period corresponded to the reign of Emperor Meizei. It was preceded by the Keijo era and was succeeded by the Taisho era. Although there is a tear between the Shrine of the Dead or the Kasukuni shrine, it could be understood why the Japanese did what they did. That one path would lead to continuous pain and continuous pain of others, thus creating an endless cycle of pain. The Japanese were obviously they were sick of the pain and suffering in the war government's ideology about um, everything going on. Loved ones passed away. The war and the continuous anger and the forced commands, they would have been intolerable at that time. You just can't be told what to do consistently and not get angry. And you're forced to just hurt people. And then you know that let's keep doing the same thing. And then what's going to happen? We're getting that same feeling. Although you get this feeling, you get another feeling at the same time. Oh, I feel like I'm doing something good. And then I'm also getting hurt in the end. That doesn't seem like a win-win situation for you or anyone else around you. The Japan also attacked Hong Kong, China, in something called the Nanjing Massacre. They say this was sparked with Japan at Marco Polo, the bridge of Marco Polo. When one soldier went missing, that was stationed there. So they stationed someone there, I guess, to like say, hey, like we have someone just watching to make sure in case something happens. The soldier literally could have left for a smoke or a beer. And for all we know, or maybe you just thought that one kill would give you the authority to tell all of your people that the person is too is too many. So that one person's way too many. You instigated and crossed territory with another country so that you could have more land. And this Nanjing massacre pretty much happened every night. It was so brutal. Over 300,000 Chinese people were killed in 1 year. That was 1 year. Started in December and ended in January the next. So, yeah, it's pretty awful. They were systematic assaults that happened for the women, young or old. There were over 20,000 that have been estimated to be affected because of the Japanese people. It left uh, Chinese and Japanese mixes throughout Hong Kong, forcing generations to be reminded of pain and suffering from the Nanjing Massacre, which was also called the Asian Holocaust, which happened at the same time that Germany was boasting itself up as well too. So when there is an outrage of a famous person from China visiting the grave site, now you understand why that is. And today, till this day, the Kasukini Shrine, the website states that an attack on Pearl Harbor was instigated by the U.S. They probably both instigated it. The U.S. has a bad history of extorting natives and instigating political atrocities, creating mass genocides, attacks on the Chickasaw, Seminole, and the Chickasaw, and the Cherokee people as well too. Before I end this video though, I'd just like to remind you how we got here. Sometimes we think that sometimes we think something is bad. Maybe we should look into it. I wanted to know. All these articles were just like China, 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 right? Things happen in the past, and everyone just wants to reconcile at this moment. War is not the answer, it is a crime, and playing video games is the least of our crimes. So least of our worries, and be thankful that we have video games, anime, and culture. War has questions like, did that person have a mom? Did they not have a mom? Like, that's pretty sad. Did they want to? Did they want to have a mom? Would they like their child to have a mom? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you You know, we're going at a big conflict here. That's why people chose peace over everything. Before I go, um, I'd like to leave you just there to subscribe. You can like my video. Check out my channel and my other videos. I make videos on like everything and in between too. A lot of different stuff maybe you have seen or haven't seen. Check it out. It might spark your interest. You'd be surprised what I have going now. So thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's a touchy subject. Just take care of yourself. And I'll see you till next time. Bye.